Points. Good day to you all, my fellow ladybugs. Welcome to another episode, our 31st episode, or as Matt would say, our 30 wonderful episode of the Broad Points podcast. I am your host, the broad that points, the broad with the points. It's me, Tyler the Lady. Welcome, ladybugs, lady beetles, ladybirds. They have several names across the world, and as I promised, we will talk about what the heck that means today. Why ladybugs, right? Well, ladybugs are actually seen as a sign of good fortune. They're good luck. You know, they're allies to our farmers, so ladybugs, they're not bugs, they're actually beetles. So let's just get that straight. If you prefer to be a lady beetle, you can absolutely identify however you choose. Maybe you're more of a bird person. In the UK, they call them ladybirds. You can choose. You can really honestly choose how you identify. It doesn't affect me in the slightest. But for farmers, you know, these ladybugs, they actually eat all the pests away. So they really help to cultivate a good harvest. And we really are cultivating community here. I feel like the more listeners we have, the more luck we have on our side. We're ridding ourselves of the bologna sandwich that's out there in the world, ridding ourselves of all of the pests, and focusing on our protection and on our healing. Ladybugs are signs of protection. They're signs of healing. They're good luck. Some people say that if one lands on you, that if you count the spots, that's how many years of good luck you have. We can all choose, you know, how we want to view them. Back in the day, in European times, they would actually call them beetles of Our Lady because they would pray to the Virgin Mary for ladybugs to come and eat the pests away in order for them to have a good crop harvest. So lots of layering behind ladybugs. I think it's super fun. You know, they also have a built-in protection system. Their brightness, the color of them, how bright they are, how vibrant they are, it's a warning to other predators. A pesmatic is what it's called. Their brightness, it's a warning, right? You look at them and there's about 5,000 different species of ladybugs, but if you look at them, they all have very vibrant colors that serve as a warning to protect them out in the wilderness. And, you know, I feel like the more vibrant people we have, we're all unique. Me, you listening to this, we are all, you know, able to shine at our brightest, and that is truly what will protect us. That and community, which is why we have this podcast, why we have, you know, all of the different ways that we can connect in today's world. I am away from a lot of people that I grew up with, a lot of people that I know now, and technology, as I've mentioned, it's a bridge. It's a bridge for you and me to be able to connect. And so with that, with your new title, whatever you decided, ladybugs, lady beetles, beetles of Our Lady, ladybirds, let's jump in to the fundamental phrase for the week. It is: each moment describes who you are and gives you the opportunity to decide if that's who you want to be. It's a long one, right? But it's so good. So I'll say it one more time. Each moment describes who you are and gives you the opportunity to decide if that's who you want to be. Yeah, you guys, What the heck does that mean? Choices. It means every second of every day you are blessed with a choice. You can continue to do what you're doing, or you can break a pattern, right? Sometimes we find in life, I'm always speaking from personal experience here, we find ourselves in places that maybe don't make us feel so great. Maybe we're surrounded by people who are having a toxic effect on us. Maybe, we're just not very thrilled about how we're acting. And so it happens. First of all, it happens. It happens to me. It's happening to you. It's happening to everybody all around us all of the time. And the way to get back in alignment with ourselves is to ask the questions that allow us to change. Because every moment, it's an opportunity. Every moment is an opportunity for us to decide that we want to change, that we no longer want to be this person or act in this way or associate with these people or go to these places. So how do we decide to make a change? We look at the question. Maybe the question is, where are you? Maybe first we need to recognize where the heck we are on this planet. Maybe we need to recognize where we are on our journey to our goal. Maybe we're not reaching a goal and we just can't figure out why we're not reaching that goal. Number one thing that helps, first step, where are you? Where are you? Next question you can ask yourself, where are you going? Where do you want to go? Or if it's in regard to your character, who do you want to be? Right? If the first question is, who are you? Who do you want to be? Where are you going? By asking ourselves questions, we bring awareness to our situation. We bring awareness to our being. We bring awareness to our goals. And awareness, it really is shining that light on the answers that lead us down the pathway to complete our mission, to align with who we truly are. And there have been times in my life when I've been acting a certain way, or like I hear words come out of my mouth and I'm like, ew, did I just say that? Or did I just say that in that tone? Ooh, tone was the big one. Even still, tone is a big one for me. I pick up on tone a lot. There's, physical tone and verbal tone. So you guys pay attention to both. Ask yourself what's going on with both in your life to see if it's in alignment with who you want to be. And I had times when I was not thrilled with the way something came out. I knew that if I had maybe a cooler head, it could have been a little bit calmer of a presentation of what I was saying. And sometimes, I would just let the heat get to me. I would let the rage come out. I used to yell, not just screaming. There's something that these kids are doing these days that I don't know if they're seeing it online or if it's in a show or how this happens. But the young kids that I've seen who throw temper tantrums these days will just throw their arms down and like tilt their head back towards the sky and just scream, like bloody murder scream, like throw themselves on the ground. I don't recall doing that. I was actually a pretty well-behaved child. I would set a bedtime for myself. That was kind of who I was, in addition to being an emotional being and being highly sensitive, being able to pick up on everything that was going on everywhere. I was very chill. I was a very chill kid. And, these kids nowadays are just yelling and screaming, but I would yell at people. So if someone was mean to me or someone wasn't listening to me, I would get angry and I would yell at them. Well, I'm here to tell you that was a choice, right? Everything we do, it's a choice. And the choice for me, it really didn't make me feel too good about myself. Also the choice of hitting people, throwing things at people, pushing people, kicking people, any sort of physical violence. I don't condone it. I don't. I don't condone yelling, and I don't condone physical violence. And the reason, you guys, is one, we're all connected, but two, when you hurt someone, it hurts you. Not just because we're all connected, but because when physically you hit someone, you're going to have a bruise. You're going to. It's just what it is. We're not made to be hitting people or hitting things. I used to like to punch walls. Oh, it was the worst. And then when I got angry with punching people, I would hit myself. Also not great. You end up hurting yourself. This self-sabotage, it makes you feel worse about yourself. And if it's verbal, those words can just repeat in your head. At least if you have a conscience. Maybe it's just me because I had a conscience as a kid. But I would always then feel the pain that I inflicted on somebody else. I would feel the guilt. And, I spent a good amount of my adult life reaching out to the people who I had hurt, who I had said nasty things to, and apologized to them because I didn't agree with it. I didn't agree that they deserved that. I believed that there was a better way to move forward. And I believe everybody has accepted my apologies. Not everybody has apologized to me for the things, that they've done, but we can't expect other people to do things, right? I always hope the best for people. I hope that they'll grow. I'll hope that they'll learn from their mistakes. Maybe I hope for an apology one day. However, I don't expect it. And the reason why I don't expect it is because that is the number one way to be disappointed. The only thing that we control in this life is our variables, is our choices. And these choices, they really are opportunities for change. They are opportunities for us to decide if this is who we are. Because yes, it does describe you. Whether you like it or not, it does describe you. And if you don't like it, it's an opportunity for you to change. Having time for reflection. Having time to what worked, what didn't work, right? Remember we talked about 2 columns, what worked, what didn't work, allows you to be able to change, right? There's no pressure to change. If you don't want to change, you don't have to. You might notice the people around you start to change, or people around you start to reflect your behaviors, because everyone is a mirror. We are most like the 5 people that we spend the most time with. Yeah. So if you're seeing some behaviors in someone that you're constantly with that you're maybe not such a big fan of, take a look in the mirror. Take a look in the mirror and see where that's showing up in you. And I grew up with a lot of people who were very absent-minded when it came to forgiveness. There was a lot of empty apologies with no action. And I believe it was an Ohio college that actually had a study on forgiveness and what true apologies were. And so I'll share just a little bit of that with you. But a true apology is acknowledging what is being said to you, right? Acknowledging your action, taking responsibility for your action, and then giving the ways that you're going to change, right? An empty apology is just, I'm sorry. People are just, I'm sorry, I'm sorry all day long, and it means nothing. Not to mention the people who just sweep it underneath of the rug. There's, some famous words in my family is, I don't want to hash this out. And that just doesn't work, you guys. Sweeping stuff underneath of the rug, especially regarding, this fundamental phrase, right? Each moment describes who you are and gives you the opportunity to decide if that's who you want to be. If you just sweep it underneath of the rug, you're sweeping away the opportunities for growth. You're sweeping away the opportunities for change. And that is why it is so important to acknowledge your role, take responsibility, and advise. How are you going to change in the future? Because when you don't, you're not really giving people anything to have faith in. And I have so much faith in humanity. I have so much belief that people can change. One, because my journey has just been a roller coaster. I have changed so much. I always say to people, like, if you met me in middle school, or you met me, maybe not middle school, I feel like I was decent still. In middle school really broke me down, and I think that's kind of what forced me to be a little bit tougher, a little bit meaner. But there's multiple ways to approach bullying, you guys. You don't have to yell, you don't have to raise your voice, you don't have to hit back. There is a way through peace, through calmness, through clear, concise communication and community that can really just change worlds. And, I always say, though, back in high school, you probably wouldn't want to be friends with me. Why? Because I didn't want to be friends with me. I had a lot of hatred, a lot of anger, a lot of rage that just really was toxic. It was toxic. And I knew that I couldn't continue on that path. And so I really do live a much more peaceful life now. Anytime somebody is having a tough time or I'm having a tough time, I communicate about it. I talk to people, with a level head, and I take an adult approach, right? I don't know why people these days feel like, sweeping stuff underneath the rug and yelling and being dismissive or being manipulative, just trying to get something out of your way so that you can have the life you want. That's manipulative. It is. And I've been manipulated for a lot of my life. Even to this day, people try to manipulate me. And rather than engaging, rather than enduring the additional trauma and baggage that I just don't need, I choose to withdraw from that. I choose to speak my piece. Again, I'm clear, I'm concise, I focus on me because I know that everything, it's me and, how I'm perceiving it. But I give a proposal of, the changes that I would like to see in order to move forward. And if I'm not acknowledged, right? If they're not seeing what I'm saying, if they're ignoring that and just continuing on with their agenda, I know that I don't need that in my life because they think that I'm just a part of their life. And that is not what it is, you guys. If you're noticing that, if you're noticing that you're just a part of somebody else's story, guess what? You don't have to be. You don't have to be manipulated. You don't have to continue down that pathway. Why? Because each moment gives you the opportunity to decide if that's where you want to be, who you want to be, and who you want to be associating with. And so this opportunity for you is just taking on this fundamental phrase. I have so much gratitude for this fundamental phrase because anytime that I say something that I don't agree with, I have the opportunity to apologize for it. And I do. I'm not perfect. I like to remind people that I am not perfect. I'm not just like going around and like every single day I'm at 100%. And, sometimes I say some things in some tones that I don't like. And then almost immediately afterwards, I say, I am so sorry I said it like that. I am so sorry that came out that way. Because a lot of the time, honestly, it's a compilation of things throughout the day that then trigger a response to one thing, and it's never deserving. It's not. And so time is really your friend here. One, because it gives you an opportunity with each moment that passes, but also it's a gestation period. It has time for you to sort some things out, right? Maybe take a drink of your water. If you're drinking coffee, you could have a drink of your coffee, your soda, whatever you're drinking. Take a drink of it. Mull it over. Just think about what the next words are going to be that are going to come out of your mouth. Think about your physical portrayal, of what this message is going to be, of your tone, of your volume. My niece was being bullied, and she said, "I'm just gonna yell the next time that someone is mean to me. I'm just gonna yell." And I tried to explain to her, which it's hard when you grow up in a family of people who think that yelling is okay, but I tried to explain to her that there are other ways. We can politely say to people, "That's not very nice. Why would you do that?" Or going to a teacher, if you don't feel like you can say something, I told her, go to a teacher and go right away because she's waiting. And, I'm definitely not one to talk on this because there have been traumas and things that I have experienced that I waited to speak out about. And, you have to deal with it. You can't just sweep it under the rug. This just goes back to this. You can't just hold off on things. If it's a legal thing that can be resolved, you only have so much time, right? If you're not a child being bullied by another kid, which also it could have legal ramifications, you have to speak up about it in the moment. If you want the change to occur, you have to speak up. If it's not to that person, reach out to someone that you trust. Reach out to someone who you believe can help you in the situation or through the situation, because that is how change happens. Communication. If we don't say anything happened, then the person will never change. The person will never know what they did was wrong or that it hurt you. And so now I really try to speak up in the moment. I really try to give everyone the opportunity to change. I do. I exclude no one here. So, with that, for all of my U.S. listeners, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Regardless of what actually happened on this day, I hope that you are able to find gratitude. I hope that, there is community out there. Maybe you guys are eating really good food. I know I'm going to be cooking all day. Thanksgiving cooking for me is actually a 2-day process because I start cooking the day before. You've got to get all your prep work in, and then Thanksgiving Day is when the action happens. I really enjoy having just a quaint Thanksgiving here in the desert. The last couple years, it's been a Friendsgiving. So, having some people over who don't have places to go and just reminding them that they're appreciated. Thanking them for being on this planet, for being friends with me, for sharing their love, for sharing their support. Maybe you're with family, having gratitude for them, having gratitude for their existence. Even if you don't agree with everything, that they've done, we can be grateful for them showing us the things that we don't want to be. Gratitude, it comes in many different shapes and sizes. I know I have a lot of gratitude for everyone in my life, whether, the lesson was, we'll put the names on it, good or bad, positive or negative. I have learned so much from every single teacher in my life, right? Every person that we meet is both our teacher and our student, and I have learned from all of them. I am grateful for all of the experiences. I'm grateful to wake up and take a breath every day. I'm grateful for clean drinking water. And so take the time to think about, what are you grateful for on this day of Thanksgiving? And if you're outside of the US, you can still take the day to be grateful, right? There's plenty of things to be grateful for across the world. And so take the time, right? I'm grateful that next year, I mentioned Lady Birds, that's the UK name. I'm going to London to see Linkin Park with Matt. I am so excited. The anticipation is just building and building and building. Sold out Wembley show. We're going to go see Linkin Park. I have wanted to go to London my entire life, and it is happening. Why? Because we made the choice. We made the choice. And you can make the choice to subscribe to my Patreon. Patreon.com/Tyler the Lady. There's poetry, there's artwork, there's recipes, there will be meditations. There's really no limit on the digital goods that can be offered through Patreon. I just have to upload them. So take a look, take a peek. My recipes, you can buy them just one off, or you can subscribe and get all of the recipes that I post in a month for $5. That's a pretty good deal. I'm just saying. We subscribe to a lot of bullshit these days, and $5 a month, quality, tried and true recipes by yours truly. They're there. I'm sharing. It's so hard to want to share, recipes. Everybody's like, oh my God, they're going to steal my thing. They're going to make it big, blah, blah, blah. I just want to share. I just want to build community. So let's do it, right? And also, maybe you want to share a gift. Maybe you want to gift to yourself. And food isn't really your thing. You're like, I don't care about a recipe. I'm still not going to do it. That is a-okay. You don't have to. I am also a Xero Shoes affiliate. This means you can use my Xero affiliate link to buy Xero shoes for yourself, for your loved ones. And I get paid. I get dollars when you use my Xero affiliate link. I know for sure when I go to London, I am packing my Xero shoes. Probably multiple pairs because they're just so cute. They have so many different varieties. This holiday season, I have my eye on a black pair of Chelsea boots. Yeah, you guys, Chelsea boots. I just slip on boots because maybe you don't want to tie your shoes. Right? Lace up boots. They can be a lot, especially when you have to take them off when you go indoor. It's just, I get it. Chelsea boots. They don't even have laces. They can't come undone. You just put your foot in, you slip your foot out, bing, bang, we're done. I love it. I've got my eye on a black pair of Chelsea boots, so I'm sure you're going to see a post in the near future of me with a pair of black Chelsea boots. Maybe listening to me talk about these Chelsea boots has made you want a pair. Go check them out. Use my affiliate link to buy them. It is xeroshoes.com/go/Tyler the Lady. And don't forget to like, rate, review, and subscribe to this here podcast. This is how we grow, ladybugs. This is how we flourish. This is how we cultivate community. You can find me at Broadpoints or at Tyler the Lady. And if you want to send me an email, maybe you have some thoughts on this ladybug title for the fans. Maybe you want to tell me that you identify as a ladybird or a lady beetle or a beetle of Our Lady. Send me an email at broadpointspodcast@gmail.com. Now, one more time with that fundamental phrase for the week. Each moment describes who you are and gives you the opportunity to decide if that's who you want to be.